We're live with Pablo. This is Pablo. He is going to be replacing Katlyn today because Katlyn left for fight week in Las Vegas. So if you guys hear like noises like grunts and groans and stuff like that, gurgles, that's Pablo. But hopefully he's good. So Zain is replacing Katlyn. This is what Zain looks like.
I am Brown.
Good looking guy, right?
You flatter me.
Yeah. Good looking young man. So what's up, man? You finished school today?
Yeah, I took my last final today. My last two finals. I did all-nighters to prepare.
You take Adderall?
I actually had some. I was considering taking it.
Do you ever take it?
No, I end up, you know what really helps me study actually? I smoke a ton of weed before.
And that helps you?
Yeah, because I feel like when I'm studying for something.
Doesn't that usually make your short-term memory pretty bad?
Maybe, but I feel like it just calms me down in the moment because I'm freaking out about the test the entire time.
Oh, so it relaxes you.
I'm doing calculations what sort of grade I'll get if I get an A on this test or a B on this. Yeah. It's so weird being in front of the camera.
Are you nervous? Why does it change? The second you're in front of a camera, you feel like nervous, right?
Yeah, I don't like it. I see what you guys have to go through now.
I don't really mind it.
I mean, you're built for the spotlight, you know what I mean?
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
You're more a behind the scenes
You're
kind
so
of guy?
charismatic, Kyle.
Well, it depends who you ask. Some people would probably say the very opposite.
I don't agree with them.
Well, we talked about with LaFleur, if I'm not on Kratom, I'm not super pleasant.
Have I only seen you on Kratom?
No, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I feel like it's you all the time.
Yeah.
Kyle's one of the nicest guys. I feel like I wouldn't be working with you guys if I didn't really believe in you as people. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah?
That's why I work so hard behind the scenes.
Yeah, you do work hard, right?
I try.
No, you're so good at it, but it's funny because I'm always bragging about you. I'm oh my God, our guy Zain, he's amazing. He makes the best videos, this and that. And then I'm wondering, can anyone just do that? Is that just how, am I just super, super slow? Or are you really good at it? Because I think it's the most amazing shit ever, everything you could do. But is that pretty general stuff?
I think it's 50-50. I definitely think anyone can learn to do what I do, but you definitely need to have an eye for it to start.
Yeah.
It's a lot of self-teaching. I learned how to make videos when I was 10.
Video editing.
Yeah, video editing, how to use a camera and stuff.
Yeah, but then you do you do my Patreon and you do Jason Rao's Patreon.
Yeah.
And what else? And you've done other
I do
vlogs
those.
for
I've
people.
worked with IFBB pros. I've had a couple stuff on Fight Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Nick Ronan and stuff.
But your major in school is nothing like this, right?
No,
it's just
I'm a business major. There's no money in filmmaking.
Why not?
There's none at all.
In YouTube, there's money.
In YouTube, but the profession, there's no money at all. Kind of working a slave labor job, and then I can't train if I do that.
You're making lots of money through burning the boats.
Oh, dude, burning the boats, it's amazing. But if I went to school for filmmaking, that's what, 20,000 a year, and then you get out of school, you make what, maybe $40K a year, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're probably not gonna make any
until
good
you
money.
Until you make a big time motion picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can make a documentary about you, Kyle.
I don't know.
You've got a super inspiring story, dude.
Inspiring?
I think so.
What's inspiring about it?
Well, I feel like you just kept through everything. You somehow found a way to even though you have a job right now and you work super hard, you still make time for wrestling and teaching people. And you have one of the best selling BJJ Fanatics instructionals ever.
I don't know about that, but it's funny because I used to think I was an accomplished athlete for a little bit. I was I'm pretty satisfied. I did some good things athletically, but then the more people you're around, Katlyn is the most amazing athlete that I've ever been around. Not necessarily athletic ability, but her devotion and her professionalism to her craft is second to none.
Yes, I agree.
She doesn't cheat on one thing ever. I would always like, oh, like, well, I could go out tonight and get fucked up and party and stay out all night. And then I could get up at 6 a.m. and grind. And I would like pride myself on that. And I thought that was like a good thing that I could do that. And everyone used to like kind of like feed into that. They were like, oh, that's so badass. You could, you know, and I was like really good at that. But that's not what, like, if you really want to be the best, you can't do that.
Yeah, Katlyn beats my ass every day we train. I just want to put that out there for the record. Katlyn is like has like probably some of the best jiu-jitsu I've ever like trained with by far.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes because I think she's you know, she's so well-rounded. And I think that this girl probably thinks, Rebus probably thinks that she has a leg up in the grappling, I think.
Oh, 100%.
I would imagine that her strategy is going to be, oh, well, you take her down and keep her on the ground and beat her up. But for one, to like get Katlyn down is really difficult. But then to hold her down is much, much more difficult.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. We were watching a couple of her fights last night. And when I'm watching it, I'm like, damn, she looks pretty good because she is good. Just when it's okay to say someone's good, you know. Everyone at that level is good, but when Katlyn's watching it, she's like, oh, she's trash. She's trash. Like she's like her just brain is just different. It's she just has like negative thoughts just don't enter her brain.
I wish my brain was like that, dude.
Dude, me fucking too. Because I sit around all day like stressed about things like our taxes for this year, for instance. She's gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh my god, you're still talking about taxes." Our taxes from this year are still not done. We had to like file an extension just because we have like a million different things going on. Yeah. So they filed an extension. They're like dragging it out. I stress about that literally nonstop. I'm like, "What the fuck? Let's do this." Because until you do your taxes, you really can't get loans, and like, it's annoying. And Katlyn's just like nothing phases her.
Do you
she
feel
does
like you
not
like
get
had
stressed at all.
The same sort of stress when you were competing as an athlete?
No, but I wasn't even like a real person when I was training like an athlete.
What do you mean?
Like I didn't have any responsibilities. Like I didn't have like a house.
That's
or,
true.
Like
That's
bills
true.
or you know what I mean? I was like just like not even a real person.
Is there any advice you give yourself if you could like talk to yourself back then?
Well, yeah, probably. Like, it depends how far back you want to go.
Like, let's say like right before your like US Open run.
Well, I think those were my best years that I was like pretty focused. But like coming out of high school, like I didn't follow wrestling at all. So I was recruited by like, you know, a handful of pretty good schools. And in wrestling, there was only 9.9 scholarships. Okay. So then they like divvy those scholarships up between, you know, an entire roster. There's 10 weight classes. So everyone's on like a partial scholarship for the most part at good schools, especially like Iowa or Penn State. They don't really give full rides. So at the time in high school, I remember Edinburgh University offered me 75%.
That's awesome.
Which was a lot. I would have had to pay, I think, like $3,000 a year at the time. The University of Buffalo offered me a full ride, but they were like the worst team, like terrible, no tradition, nothing. Edinburgh was really good at the time. So I was like, well, I want to go to Edinburgh. And my dad was like, oh, okay, but do you have $3,000? And I was like, no. But I didn't know like about student loans or anything. I was like, well, whatever. I'm good in high school. I'll be good in college. So right off the bat, like you can't win training at the University of Buffalo. You just can't do that. No one. Like if Yanni went to the University of Buffalo, he would not be a national champion. It doesn't matter. You just like, it's like, you know, trying to like walk to Australia. You know, you can't. You got to swim or take a boat, something, right? Plane. You know, it's just not the right vehicle to take you to the win at the highest levels. But so like that's like not necessarily a mistake on my part. That's just like not knowing. It's like an ignorance. But then like when I was fighting, I didn't know. I didn't train right. I was like, I didn't put like a ton of stock into jiu-jitsu. I should have just competed in jiu-jitsu for like 2 years and got like really good on the ground, you know? So I just was like, you know, just did like most things wrong.
So you would say you're just unfocused?
Probably unfocused, yeah. And like I used to think like, oh, I want to fight because I want to be, I want to have money and get lots of girls and this, that, like not like the right reasons. Like, like Katlyn wants to fight because she loves training jiu-jitsu. She loves training boxing. She loves training wrestling. Like she loves competing. Like if someone asks her what she does, she says she's a personal trainer,
Really?
Yeah. Like if like in a random place, she'll say like she's a personal trainer.
How come?
Like she's not in it at all for like fame or anything like that. Well, now she gets paid good money now. So the money is important, but her just focus is so much more pure than that. It's just the right, she's just the ultimate professional.
I agree.
It's really cool.
She's the only UFC fighter I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never watched one UFC like fight, just like watch.
Well, I watch every UFC fight, and a lot of my friends are great fighters, but Katlyn is just different than anyone that I've ever been around. And that's just the way it is. Not necessarily that other fighters aren't like their strategy isn't good, but just Katlyn's like, it's so easy to believe in. And I think the reason she's so comfortable with competing is because she has no self-doubt, like, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. She does everything perfect. So I think if you do that, you have like no regrets, right? There's nothing like, oh, I wish I would have done this.
Yeah.
So I think that helps her mind, but her mind is interesting. It's just the way she thinks, her lack of stress is,
I can only imagine.
I don't know what
dude.
it is, but
like we talk so much shit at like training, me and her. Yeah. To me especially, she like really chats me up.
Yeah, it's cool. What about you? You got anything coming up? Competitions?
I've got a super fight on the 21st. So I'm doing like balance and flow, and they're pretty cool because like you don't have to pay anything to do it. But if you submit the guy in under 5 minutes, you win $500.
Oh, sick. Well, if you're going to submit the person, it's probably under 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
you'll catch them in a leg lock.
I try to like do it in like 30 seconds if possible.
Right.
You know
but most of your submissions are probably really quick. Right?
Yeah, I would say so. I feel like I either get the submission or like go into overtime.
That's what I think. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to catch more, dude. I feel like it's just hard. I feel like it's like a confidence thing. Like how like Katlyn has like no self-doubt. Like I feel like the more I compete, the like closer I can get to that, hopefully.
And when you're doing this, what's your motivation? Like, why do you compete so much?
Why do I compete so much?
Yeah. Like, do you have like a dream of being like a professional grappler, like a real, like a, world level?
Pablo, I feel like.
Are you like afraid to say that because it sounds like
no?
Like,
so I've like definitely like thought about like being like a world champion and stuff, and that's definitely like stuff I want to achieve. But I also know like I have like a certain amount of time to do that. Like I think in like there's this thing that like my friend Eric Prush told me. It's like in China, like to be like professional weightlifter, you have like the Chinese government gives you like 3 years of support.
Okay.
So like you have 3 years to like figure out whether you can make it or not.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm like doing the same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like I'm on like year 3 right now. So it's like I have to see how far I can go at my current level. And then like I'll see how far I can push it because like realistically like I'm not gonna make a living doing jiu-jitsu.
But why do you say that though?
You're
what, 21 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's premature. You could what do you make a living? Do you mean like teaching or just competing?
Like just both. You have to do both.
I think you could.
But I want to make like a comfortable living. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to like have like a family and like have like a home. Like I want to be able to do what like you and like Katlyn have done with your lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's why I look up to you guys so much.
The better you do at jiu-jitsu, then it opens up like more avenues, right?
Yeah. But then like there's also like, like competing, but also like by itself, it's like a hard thing. Like the closer you get to competition, like the self-doubt that like creeps in and stuff, and like the feelings like right before like competition. Like you can think like you did everything perfectly, and like the night before you'll be freaking out.
Right.
Yeah, like all that sort of stuff. It's stuff you can't control.
I think jiu-jitsu is like one of the toughest things because it's so hard to win. It's so easy to get caught in something. That's why people don't even get like bummed out usually.
Yeah, that's why almost no one competes. It's like the same 4 or 5 guys at the top. Too. Yeah.
That's something that like just if you compete at all, I respect you so much more than someone who doesn't compete. Even if you don't do well, because there's so many people that are like longtime black belts. Everyone says how great they are, but they don't compete.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
I also
how do you
feel
know
like
they're good?
competing in jiu-jitsu is like, it's a weird thing because I feel like it's different than any other sport. Like I feel like a wrestling go in the room can be like a wrestling go like when you like
I think so too.
when you
Yeah.
compete. Yeah, but like jiu-jitsu, it's like there's like completely different feels.
Yeah.
I feel like people in the room like they want to engage with you and they want to do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Whereas when you go out there, it's like everyone's like stalling you out, and it's a
strategic.
Yeah. Technique like plays a lot less of a part when you compete. I feel like physicality really comes in,
and just knowing how to compete, right?
Yeah.
Like knowing the rule set really well.
I mean, look at guys like Cyborg who like score like one takedown and then just run around the entire match.
Or like DJ Jackson was kind of like that, right?
Yeah,
and you get far, right? You get a lot of mileage
Yeah.
doing that.
You feel like you could have been like an ADCC champion. I always think about that, dude. We tried to get Kyle to do West Coast. We were really excited about that.
But now I'm like a broken old man.
You
can't
are not
now.
old, dude. Your T levels are through the roof.
But if I would have done jujitsu like right after like I was a high level wrestler, then I probably think that I would have been able to be an ADCC champ, just because back then, like 10, 12 years ago, 12 years ago, jiu-jitsu was like nothing compared to what it is now.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing.
I think about all this stuff. Dude, I always think about it, man. Like,
but that didn't even mean anything. You'd win it back then and no one would, I mean, that's nothing.
But
There's
like,
not like
now you'd still definitely get the respect still. Like there's people who like won ADCCs like 4 or 5 years ago who are like still like selling out seminars now. You know what I mean?
4 or 5 years ago is different than like 12 years ago though, right?
100%.
I guess who's still like Dean Lister?
Dean Lister sells out so many things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Guys like that. Did Tom DeBlas ever qualify? I don't know.
He qualified.
He sells out like everything.
He qualified.
Yeah.
But he was a little bit more contemporary than that.
Yeah. You know who I think is doing a really good job in this space right now, man? Robert Diggle. Robert Diggle is like going all over the place.
He is.
He's just like a good guy. I really like him, dude. Oh, Pablo just bit my face.
Well, he kind of figured it out because he knew like you said, you want to make money doing jiu-jitsu, but he competed all the time, and at like kind of like the Ryan Hall approach, where you're just competing at like not the hardest tournaments there are, but the consistency of competing all the time and like your people seeing your name all the time helps you build a brand. And then you're getting like highlight reel finishes because they're not maybe the best competitions, but if you get like, 100 matches in a year, that's 100 different times people are seeing your name, seeing your hands getting raised. Then you start posting the technique videos, and he's doing good.
How come you think wrestling does like people like can't make a following in wrestling the same way they make it in jiu-jitsu?
I don't know that it's not the following, but I think it's tough to make like money through wrestling because wrestling is like in people's mind from the very beginning. Like the first day they learn wrestling's free. It's offered for free in your high school, right? It's offered for free in your elementary school, or maybe like $25 for the season, some bullshit. It's generally wrestling is free to do it, right? And then even to compete, your high school team brings you, and it's free.
Yeah.
So it's not like ingrained to like pay. Where in jiu-jitsu, you are paying a gym membership, a pretty expensive one, like private lessons. Anytime you go to compete, you're doing. It's big money. So you're used to like spending money. So it's just the sport itself is like built around like spending money. Wrestling is like most people who wrestle are younger than college, right? Not a lot of people wrestle after high school. Where jiu-jitsu professionals do it their whole life. So they have money. High school kids don't have money. So unless their parents are paying for wrestling instructionals, I don't think. That's what I think it is.
What do you think is easier to go farther in?
Well, I would have always said jiu-jitsu, but I still would say jiu-jitsu. Still would say jiu-jitsu. But not necessarily easier, but I don't know. It depends what you mean by farther.
Like competing at like a super high level, I would say. And like consistently like getting results, because I feel like in wrestling like there's a bunch of like really good guys at like the super like high level, like senior level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
if you're in the world championships, I think that you're good.
Yeah.
Whereas you're really good. Whereas I guess it's the same for jiu-jitsu. Well, no, jiu-jitsu, the world championships, like anyone could kind of go,
Yeah,
right?
but like I feel like for wrestling, like you see like guys like Zain and like Jordan Oliver who are like really good.
Yeah.
And they barely make the team sometimes.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
But that's the same with like ADCC trials, though. You see like good guys not qualify, right?
Yes and no. I also feel like everyone has to compete for wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like if like ADCC, like there's a couple of guys like who like are already in the tournament.
Well, one thing that I always think is funny is like in wrestling, the Pan Ams just ended.
Yeah.
So if you're the Pan Am champion, then you really are the champion of from Canada to Chile.
Mm-hmm.
Every country was represented at that tournament. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's, like Guatemala is not necessarily the strongest wrestling, but there was someone from Guatemala in the bracket. Where Pan Ams for jiu-jitsu, I hate when people call it Pan Ams.
Yeah.
Because Pan Ams is really like people from like Queens and Long Island.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's
yeah.
not very many people from like Chile at the Pan Ams.
We know there's even jiu-jitsu in Guatemala.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Pan Ams is usually in New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it's like the tri-state area.
Actually, I think it's Worlds usually in New York.
Is it?
No-gi Worlds.
I know the Pan Ams were in New York recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were. But it's not really like the real Pan Ams, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not even like the real like Worlds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Worlds is like the United States and Brazil, right? Like
Maybe not even Brazil most times. You know
not
what I
even,
mean?
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just like California, New York, and Texas.
Right.
Yeah. if we're being honest.
Right. Yeah, like if you went to, that's crazy how like New York or anything on the like the northeast or the West Coast,
Mhm.
like is so much better. If you went to a tournament in like Nebraska,
Yeah,
you
you'd probably destroy.
walk through it, right?
Ohio's kind of on the come up now. They have that
Dante Leon.
Yeah, Dante Leon, really pioneering the sport. You guys hit it off so well when he came by.
I like that dude.
Yeah. Remember when
He's
touched
fucking
your
good.
bicep?
It sucked because the last time he competed was against like I kind of think like the biggest. He's almost that Micah Galval.
Mika Galval?
Yeah,
Mika.
And I thought he definitely beat him.
Yeah.
That would have been like a sick win. Because that guy has like a buzz, like almost like the Rotolos or something, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like a big buzz around him.
I think it's just like, I think it's weird. I feel like there's a lot more controversial decisions in jiu-jitsu as opposed to wrestling.
Yeah. Well, because it never goes to like the judges' scorecards in wrestling.
Yeah.
Or judges' decision, right?
Yeah.
It's points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golden score.
Yeah. It's weird. But yeah. So Katlyn's competing. You can watch the card.
Just Katlyn's fight.
Just Katlyn's fight.
I could not care more like or less about the UFC.
There's a couple of decent fights that I want to see. There's a girl that Katlyn fought, Vivian Aruja. She's on the card. She's fighting Andrea Lee, who's another girl that Katlyn's fought before. So they're on the undercard. I like that because maybe Katlyn will fight like the winner of that potentially, especially
make sure the video's still going.
Yeah, especially if Andrea Lee wins, that could be like a possible opponent. But other than that, I like Katlyn's fight, obviously, and then the Blachowicz is fighting, which he's fun to watch. But either way, I mean, when she's fighting, like, I don't care about any of the other people on it.
I mean,
yeah,
she's very exciting to watch, dude. I remember her last fight. I was like shitting my pants.
Yeah, well, once you're like emotionally involved, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, I mean, she was sitting in the pocket the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does not back up at all.
No.
Nah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I think she's gonna fuck this girl up, but
Katlyn's confidence gives me confidence, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the one who got me out dating again, for all the listeners.
Are you back dating?
Nah, I don't think not for a bit. It's actually funny you say that. A girl hit me up the other night, in like the wee hours of the night. You know what I'm talking about? Like past 11:30 when things get a little. Yeah. She like.
So up?
She slid
like
in my DMs.
You up?
What?
You up?
Kind of, pretty much, yeah. She was like, hey.
Did
like,
you know her or
three
is it
whys.
random?
So I knew her through my jiu-jitsu club that I teach.
She does jujitsu?
I teach, yeah, she does jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
So, she like texts me.
Text you or DM?
Well, she DMs me.
Uh-huh.
And then like I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like I'm like about to fall asleep because I've been studying all day. And like I like hit her back. I'm like, hey, 2 Ys.
Uh-huh.
2 Ys. You don't want to show too much interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to play it cool. And she's like,
isn't that funny how like the number of Ys really does indicate
oh,
your
100%.
interest?
Yeah. I do 3 or 4 Ys when I'm in like a relationship. Yeah.
Or if you're being funny, maybe.
Or I mean, yeah, or if I'm like just like, being a little goofy. And then she texted me, she's like, how are you? Like just wondering how you're doing. And that's when I got scared.
Why'd you get scared?
I got scared.
But why?
Well, because why would this person be wondering what I'm doing?
Well, she's probably into you.
Sometimes,
is she cute?
100%, dude. Super cute.
Yeah.
Super duper cute.
So what's the problem?
I'm still like I'm still trying to like get over what I just got out of. You know what I mean? It's like still been like,
are you bummed?
About what?
Like depressed about your breakup?
Oh, 100%.
You're
yeah.
depressed.
I'm so depressed.
Really?
Yeah, dude. When I'm not here, I'm like just like listening to like a
oh, dude, there's nothing worse than that feeling. But do you have like the anxiety of, is she gonna text me today? Did she look at my story? Do you have?
Oh, I actually have to bleep that. I have to bleep that. What do you call it? Let me make a reminder. All right, 2650. All right.
Do you have those feelings though? Like the anxiety, like I wonder if she saw my story, or I wonder does she know I competed?
I used to have that, and then eventually I blocked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
Just for like both her and me. Like I feel like we both need time apart.
But part of you probably wants to be like her to see like you do good.
Oh
things,
my god,
right?
I want her to like see.
But she'll probably know even if she's blocked.
I want to text her every day. You have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, cause she was a great person, dude. Like we had so much fun together.
Of course.
It didn't end badly.
Yeah. But you're so fucking young, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I tell myself that all the time. Yeah.
If I would have like been with the girl who I was with when I was 20 years old.
I mean, what if you and Katlyn met at 20, like
that would have sucked.
Yeah.
That would have sucked.
I mean, you probably wouldn't even have the mindset you do right now when, like.
No.
Yeah.
But you can't even think about it because you're not, like I say, like not a real person, but you are a mature person. But like for someone if someone gets married at like 22, 23 years old, like that's insane to me.
Oh, 100%. I agree. Cause there's so much more of your life left to live. Like that's not even the person.
And you don't even know what you like. You don't even know like really the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
You don't know that. You're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to like make someone else happy if you're just kind of like floundering. You know, like I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, I'm still floundering right now. Like I'm.
You should be. But at what you should just be thinking. Get as good as I can at jiu-jitsu, and I think it's really important to like learn, be good at something, like be really good at something, because then it gives you like an automatic in at least like that field. Like people are interested in people who are good at something. Like if someone's like sick at the piano. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, well, he's amazing at the piano. Like it's just attractive. So get really good at something. In your case, jiu-jitsu. Then the other thing, like I wouldn't even say like do good and finish up college good. I think college is bullshit. Is meet as many different people as you can. Mm-hmm. Like of different. Like one thing that's stupid about college is you're only there with people that are just like you, pretty much like the same age. They're trying to expand their education. They're in the same spot in life. Right. So you can't like get a ton from them. You can from maybe, their parents or other people you meet, alumni, but not like your classmates. Mm-hmm. I think it's valuable to meet like older people, people who are already successful. And then you kind of build like a mentor. Like I didn't do that in my, like till I was like late 20s, like 29, or maybe even like 30 before I really was like, oh, that's super important. Mm-hmm. I was always like, just wanted to have fun and like fucked around, but like meeting new people and becoming good at a skill, those two things will like set you up for life, I think.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I think like being able to teach jiu-jitsu has like just given me so much confidence in life.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I remember
And like you'll teaching privates to a kid, and then have some dad who's like does some business, and then he loves you and gives you the job. Like,
yeah, that'd be awesome.
That will happen probably.
Maybe soon. Yeah.
That's how we got into real estate. Like our partner, I coached his son in wrestling,
Really?
and we've done, some few really, really big deals with him. And if I didn't, teach his son in wrestling, I would have never met him, because he's not someone in like, I don't know any like crazy rich people that are, big time real estate moguls.
How hard do you think it'd be to break into real estate on your own?
Well, it's not hard, but it's easier with guidance, right?
Yeah.
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 That's why I look at,
and
like,
good partnerships are really important. Like really important.
Yeah, I agree.
You could do anything on your own too, but I think like good partnerships are like super important.
Yeah, I look up to like you, Katlyn, Jason, like kind of like as like my mentors right now.
It's super
Like,
important.
Yeah, like whatever you guys tell me to do, like I'm just like putting my head down and doing.
But yeah, just the better you get at jiu-jitsu, the better, like, just being good at something makes you more attractive.
Yeah, I agree. I was a kid in high school who would play like wide receiver, and like when I would go to catch the ball, like it would go through my hands and like hit me in the face. Yeah, so like being able to like, I don't know, be like somewhat athletic at something has like definitely like helped my confidence.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, especially like having like people like come into the club, and I like had did I tell this story the other time about like how some kid like came in and like challenged me?
Yeah.
On the podcast I did? Oh yeah. So that kid came back.
What happened?
So he comes in and like he's a little bit dejected now, you know what I mean? Like he like isn't really talking to anyone. So like we're in like a little room in the rec center, and like we have mats laid out, and like there's like a mirror like facing the mats on the other side. And so he's like walking around there like pacing back and forth. Like doesn't really like take part in the practice. And so like I feel kind of bad because like we're drilling all these moves and he's like not really like talking to anyone or doing anything. Like he got into a fight with like one of my like D1 wrestlers.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, it was bad. But so like I feel bad, like I ask him to roll, and like I start trying to get to know him. I'm like, because last time we rolled, like I hate to say it, but like I kind of like mopped the floor with him. Like I tapped him like 4 times in a minute.
Yeah.
And I just want to be like, hey man, like, like have you ever trained anywhere else before? Like how like, how long you been training? And like he just gets real snippy with me. He's
maybe
like,
he trains Krav Maga.
Dude, maybe. I remember I saw him roll with one of my like students, and he tried to do like one of those like force chokes from Mount.
Like a rape choke?
Like a rape choke. And I was like,
you probably can't call it rape choke anymore, huh?
I don't think so.
That's not like politically correct.
We have so at school we have these things on the mirrors, and like it's a stupid saying. It's like mirrors only show like social constructs of beauty. Beware. Like it's just, I don't know, it's so weird. But so like I'm trying to get to know this kid, and he's just like, I'm like, hey man, like how have you ever trained before anywhere else? He's like, obviously I have, can't you tell?
Stop it. Like, he didn't say that.
No, he said that. And then I'm like kind of defeated now. Like, so I don't really like getting yelled at, especially at people I don't really know.
Yeah.
And so like we keep like rolling, and like he tries to do like a cartwheel pass, but instead of doing a cartwheel pass, he kind of like lands on his face. And like when you like try to do like a backflip and you like kind of like land face first, and like your neck kind of like lands in like a weird direction.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like he was stuck on the ground for a little bit, and we all thought he was paralyzed.
He broke his neck.
Yeah, and we were all freaking out because like if he got paralyzed, like that'd be the end of the club.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
And I'd probably get like a salary next semester.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so I got mad scared. I was very, very like. Very.
This guy's got to go. It sounds like.
You know what's funny? He's the president of the MMA club.
Yeah.
At school.
I think he's got to go.
Yeah, I don't really like him too much. I think we banned him.
You said that last time.
No, officially though. Officially, we had like the people at the rec center know that he can't book a class with us.
Yeah, like we always talk about though, you don't see too much of that in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Most people are pretty good. just because you're legally allowed to fuck someone up.
Yeah.
Everyone gets along better with people like if there's a threat of violence.
I mean, like, there's like if you ever look at like Jason Rao, for example, right? Like, I feel like Jason Rao is my coach. Like, he's probably one of the best in the world at jiu-jitsu. But I feel like if you look at Jason just like as a person, like without the jiu-jitsu, like you wouldn't assume that he could like fuck you up.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
of
you'd
course
just be like, oh, this is just like a regular guy.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then he just mops the floor with you.
Well, that's the best thing about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
People-
you can never assume.
You can never assume.
Yeah. Same thing with Fabian. He's like a 5'4", like Hispanic guy.
Oh, there's tons of people.
Real tiny legs.
Diggle.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
tons of people like that. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Wasn't Diggle going to like Columbia too before he like went full time in jiu-jitsu? Diggle was and still is very smart.
I don't know if he ever went to Columbia, but yeah, it's funny. Like, that's like the same with like John Danaher. Everyone's like, wasn't he a professor at Columbia?
I think
Like,
so, yeah.
I don't know if he was a professor. I think he maybe like was a TA, but he didn't like go to Columbia and graduate. I don't think.
I don't know if he ever graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they say that about Diggle too. Like Diggle is a philosophy major at Columbia. I'm like, I don't think so.
I don't know what he is.
But he is smart. But I don't think he's a philosophy
No, definitely not.
professor at Columbia.
He's having the time of his life right now. I think he's in Italy.
Yeah, it's
Italy?
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's traveled all over. He was doing seminars in India for a while.
Yeah, dude, I get mad jealous about that.
Have you ever been to India?
I've never been to India. I'm Paki, so
Oh.
So, a quick little history note. The Indians kicked my people out. So, my grandma was alive when the Indians...
Pakistan is to the north?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's technically Indian because she was living in India before they all kicked her out.
Okay.
It was sort of like a Trail of Tears like situation, like where it's like a forced migration. Yeah. So, my grandma actually like saw her brother like die in front of her in the migration.
Wait, like she had like migrate like on horses and stuff? Probably,
Yeah.
like across.
Yeah, probably not even horses. Like, I think just on foot.
Wow.
And
Like
they all had to
1883. You don't know.
1883. I don't think it was 18. She's
No.
still alive.
The TV show 1883. That's what they do. They like walk from Texas to Montana.
Oh yeah. Basically,
like a horse and everything.
yeah, they had to like leave their
Wow.
home, all their valuables and everything. They were kicked out.
And then like Pakistan was like Siberia of Russia. Like people got exiled to
Yeah,
Pakistan.
pretty much. Yeah, because it was.
And was it like uninhabited? No, it couldn't have been. There's probably people there.
I think there was already people there, but it was mainly because like of like a religious conflict. And it's crazy how much. Like,
What is it? Is it Hindu and Muslim?
Hindu and Muslim, yeah.
Pakistan is Muslim. India is Hindu.
Yes.
You're surprised I knew that?
No, not at all. You're very worldly, Kyle. I feel
Yeah.
like people don't know this about you.
Wow, so that's interesting. So all the Muslims that were in India had to go to Pakistan.
Yeah, they had no choice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Ramadan still going on?
No, it actually finished last week.
Oh, good.
I
for
feel
you.
really bad because I've been lying to my grandma about fasting this entire time.
What if she's listening?
Does
I was
she-
gonna say you just went through it.
Do you think my grandma like knows what a podcast is?
I remember the first time I heard the word podcast,
Yeah, now you have one.
but I remember it was like 2010, 2011, and my friend Tim Carpenter,
Mhm.
he used to always talk about the Joe Rogan podcast. I was like, Joe Rogan? I was like, the guy from Fear Factor? He's like, yeah, he does the UFC too. I was like, oh, he's annoying. He always pretends like he knows stuff about fighting. And then he was like, no, he's good. He's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu and was like a striker.
Yeah.
He's like, you should listen to his podcast. I was like, what the fuck's a podcast? He's like, you just listen to him talk. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would I listen to someone talk? And then I listened to it. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then the next podcast I listened to was, he put me on, it was Duncan Trussell, who's like a guest on Joe Rogan's, but he has his own podcast. And he did an episode with Christopher Ryan. Do you know who Christopher Ryan is?
No, I don't think
He's
so.
the author of the book Sex at Dawn. It's like a human
That sounds
evolutionary, like sex book.
Okay, I was about to say it sounds like a sequel to 50 Shades of Grey.
No. It was like explains like why they were attracted to certain things and like why we do some like crazy things. But I listened to that podcast. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Then I started like listening to those guys, and now for like the last like 10 years, I've listened to like thousands of hours of podcasts.
What would you say is your favorite one right now, besides ours?
I don't know. I like James Altucher's podcast. I like most of Rogan's.
Yeah, you put me on it, James. James is
He's
very
good,
smart.
yeah. I like Tim Ferriss, but not everyone, but I like his. I like the Nelk Boys.
Really? You like them?
They have
That's
amazing
interesting.
guests, man.
That's true.
They have just amazing guests.
I feel like them as podcast hosts, so they kind of like run over each other a lot.
Kind of, but just like the people that they're talking to is like, I mean, bigger than any other podcast.
Oh yeah, their reach is awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like Andrew Schultz is pretty good too. He's real funny.
I've never listened to his.
Andrew, really?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd like him a lot.
Oh no, I watched his YouTube. Yeah, I have seen it. Who's the guy he's with?
It's bad because he's Indian. I should know.
Yeah, what
this.
the hell's his name? He's good too. I don't know, but yeah, I do like them too. But yeah, those are probably my favorite. What about you?
Honestly, I only listen to like us and Andrew, to be honest.
Oh my god,
Us
I
and
listen to
Andrew.
so many.
Now
But
that
you don't
road-
drive that much, do you? Oh
no, I drive
you do.
a lot.
You do.
I drive
yeah.
like 3-4 hours.
Do you listen to Audible books?
I listen just the same song over and over again.
What song?
Right now,
I do the same thing.
I think on Spotify, I think I had Adele going right before.
Oh, I love Adele.
I know you love Adele. I think about these things when I'm not with you guys. I try Easy on Me.
Oh yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
And you just listen on rerun?
Yeah, for like an hour.
Why?
Because I'm insane.
But does it like
depressed.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like it triggers you a little bit
I'll do that and I'll take mushrooms just to see what happens.
while you're driving?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that can... I'm experimenting right now.
Yeah, be careful, bud.
I'm trying, dude.
Yeah, I like depressing music like that though. But like it doesn't like really resonate with me as much anymore because like I'm not depressed. But like when you are like bummed out, it is kind of fun to listen
100%.
to like sad songs.
I actually started journaling too
oh yeah.
with Adele in the background. So like I'll be at a red light.
Are you gonna kill yourself?
No, no, not at all. But just like I like a red light, like I'll just journal something down that I'm thinking.
Like with a pen?
Yeah.
You have a pen in your car?
Yeah, and like the little not the glove compartment, the
Cup holder?
the little
Center console?
on the side for like the cup holder, little cup holder. I keep it there, like a little pen.
And you write
I just write down things that I'm thinking.
like what's something you've written down?
I wrote some things addressed to my ex.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, just like, oh, like hope you're doing well. Like maybe see you next time.
Yeah, man, that sucks. Because it's the worst feeling.
I mean, all things.
Well, so you know what's funny is they say however long you've been with the person. So how long were you with the person?
A year.
A year.
Yeah.
So they say it'll take 6 months to fully get over her.
I totally agree.
Like if you're with someone for 4 years, they said it'll take 2 years to fully get over
Mhm.
her. Do you think that that's accurate?
6 months.
No, I think whatever the time frame is, it takes half as long to get over the person.
I think to fully get over them, probably.
Yeah, to fully.
To fully get over them,
Yeah.
yeah, probably to the point where you're not thinking about them.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because like thinking about that in terms of like my life, like damn, that's a long time.
Not really. 6 months?
6 months?
You know how 6 months will be here in like no time.
feel
Like the
like I
summer goes by in like a blink of an eye.
I feel like I can achieve so much in 6 months if I really put my mind to it.
You can, or you could do absolutely nothing and it just goes by in a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
But-
dude, when I turned 21, I feel like I like something in me like woke up.
That's
It's
good.
like, oh shit, like I have to like get my shit together.
Yeah. I mean, you got to stop being depressed.
Yeah, I think I started hanging out with you guys when I was around 20. And I feel like 21 we were really into this.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit, like I got to make something of myself. Like
Dude, 21. I was like nothing at 21. Like not even a person. Like nothing.
no.
Like,
No. At
I didn't even
21,
think
wasn't
about that. I didn't even know. I remember thinking like hearing about like a job that paid like $40,000 a year. I was like, $40,000 a year? I was like, you make 40 grand? Like I had like a friend who like graduated like a year before me. I was like, you make $40,000? Then in like a year, he got a job that paid like 60,000. And I was like, I almost stopped being friends with him. I was like, I can't be friends with this dude anymore. He's like too rich. He's like, it just makes me depressed.
Wow, really?
I couldn't even wrap my head around that. And I was like 25 at that time, but I couldn't even wrap my head around like that level of success.
That's so insane because I feel like that you've like achieved so much more than that.
No,
now,
well,
yeah.
that's my point. Like at that age does not matter. All you have to do is focus on getting good at jiu-jitsu, meeting lots of people, and I would say like hooking up with a lot of girls or dating a lot of different girls. Because you don't want to just have one girl, then like you just settle down and oh, that's my girl. Like you want to have the full gamut.
Oh, 100%.
And then you could know exactly what you want. Oh, I like this about a girl. I don't like that about a girl. I like, you know, and you get exactly what you want.
You know what my current fear is? I feel like I'm going to hook up with a girl and I'm like we're going to like fall asleep next to each other. I'm going to say like my ex's name in my sleep. And that's like, I feel like what's really like keeping me away.
That's a reasonable fear. But if someone says something in their sleep, how much could you hold it against them? You know?
I think women my age are
no,
insane.
I know, or probably if I was saying a girl's name, I'm sure Katlyn would do that. But like when you're sleeping, it's kind of like, you know, you don't. I mean, like,
people always
control
assume the
your
worst.
subconscious.
People always assume the worst. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're worried about that?
I am so worried.
You just scream her name in your sleep?
I feel like I probably already do. Dude, I've woken up. I think like the past like 2 or 3 nights I've had trouble sleeping. I've woken up in like cold sweat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not healthy for someone my age.
No.
Yeah. Maybe I'm due for a heart attack, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I was having like night sweats for a while. I was like convinced I had I forgot what the disease is that's associated with night sweats. Maybe MS. I think that's a big symptom.
MS.
Yeah.
What's MS?
Like multiple sclerosis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think it was that one. But whatever. If you Google like night sweats, they're like thyroid cancer, like stuff like that. I was like convinced.
It's super scary.
And then I went to a physical. I got my like first physical in years. This was like 3 or 4 years ago. And they're like, yeah, nothing's wrong with you. I was convinced. I was 100% positive.
You're like one of the healthiest people I know, so that makes total sense.
Yeah, I don't know, but I am like the ultimate hypochondriac though. Like if I have something like that, like if night sweats, you start looking shit up, and I'm convinced that I have, you know, multiple sclerosis.
Well, that would freak out anyone.
Yeah,
that's why I stopped smoking a lot. I feel like I would just like, you know, like when you like drink a soda too fast, or like you drink like a seltzer too fast, and you feel like the burp coming up. Yeah, I would feel that, and like when I was high, I would think I was having a heart attack. Yeah. And like I'd just be freaking out in my room alone. Like,
but that makes you paranoid anyway, kind of, right? Like,
yeah,
that's normal.
Yeah.
Or
just like weird like pains here and there that just come and go. Maybe I'm not healthy, dude. I think I should go see a doctor.
I think you're fine. But yeah, you just got to get over that relationship.
It'll take time, dude.
6 months.
6 months.
Nothing. But I mean, you know, that's to be totally over it.
Yeah, maybe realistically 4 or 5.
Has it been a month?
I think it's going to be.
It's been about a month, right? So 5 months.
It's going to be a month. Yeah. Yeah. I like taking these things slow.
You got to start we getting like a date.
Yeah.
What about this girl, the jiu-jitsu girl?
Yeah. I probably should.
For sure.
Imagine she like clicks on my story and listens to this. I'll be so embarrassed.
Well, you didn't say anything bad.
I kind of just wrote like a love letter to my ex.
And and like just saying you're depressed is really unattractive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No one wants to be with like a depressed person. Yeah. Which is even more depressing, right?
Stop. It's like stacking up on itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Pablo's here. Pablo makes me less depressed. He's so good.
Yeah, I hate to hear that. But I have definitely been like that. That's something that's really easily, it's hard to like if you break your hand, like I don't know what that feels like for you, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really know what that feels like. But everyone who's been through a breakup knows exactly how you feel. Like it's like a universal feeling. You like the anxiety associated with it, then like feeling of being inadequate.
Oh yeah.
Like those are just feelings that everyone feels at some point. But yeah, it's crazy.
I think it was like the fear, like I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna find anyone else as good as that ever. Again.
Yeah, that's like insane to think though.
Yeah, so insane. But like in the moment right now, it's like, oh, that's so like normal for me to think I would feel.
There was like a period of my life for like 3 years that I was like, I'd be with this girl for like 6 months, then she'd break up with me and get back with like her ex-boyfriend. Then 6 months would go by, and then she'd break up with him and get back with me. Is like
I've had one of
every
those.
6 months I'd be like crushed.
I've had one of those, and she's actually not with her boyfriend anymore right now. So I was thinking about hitting her up too.
Yeah, that's good.
From my space to my place, as Kyle would say.
Perfect. But yeah, the every 6 months I would be like I'd be really happy for like a few months, then like crushed for a few months, then happy. Like that was for years, like 3 years of my life wasted.
Did you like her? Or did you love her?
Dude, I don't even know. Like I guess I liked her, but now looking back, I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? She was like a chain smoking hairdresser from
really?
Jersey.
That
like nothing. I mean, you know, I thought she was cute at the time and
Yeah.
stuff, but like in retrospect, I'd be like, what the fuck was I doing? Why would I be so bummed? It was very easily replaced.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
feel like hairdressing's a red flag nowadays.
I don't like to say that. I mean, there, you know, there's good and bad with anything.
If we're like following the stereotypes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try not to stereotype too much.
I stereotype all the time.
Well, I just saw my friend posted like a meme, and it was about like a jujitsu meme, and it was like about dating the hot girl in your jujitsu class, and he was like something along the lines of, well, she probably hooked up with everyone in the class before you, you know? And then I just commented, hope not, on his post, you know? And then he was like, oh, well. But yeah, but I mean,
if we're talking about
Katlyn,
that
like,
story.
is so unique. Like, it's not easily replaced. Like, a girl, no matter if they're really pretty or, you know, something you like about them, most people are easily replaced.
Yeah.
Like, you could plug in someone else and get the exact same feelings as you would that person.
I agree.
You know?
I 100% agree. Oh, let me make sure we're still recording too.
Yeah, well, whatever. We can wrap it up. I just want to make sure we got something out. It feels like we're getting a little bit of an audience, which is great. So, yeah, anything else?
No. Hopefully I'm not depressed. Hopefully I get on another date.
Yeah, you will.
Go from my space to my place. Get back out there.
I hate hearing that you're depressed. It's depressing me.
Don't be depressed. You guys make me so happy. You guys have no idea how much I enjoy coming here.
Yeah, so Katlyn, if you're listening, good luck. We're right behind you. We're pulling for you.
You're gonna do great.
No, you're gonna do amazing. Very inspiring. Can't wait to see you out there. Everyone else, thanks for listening.
Are you gonna tell her you love her before we say bye?
She knows I love her.
Aw. All right. See you guys.